Did you know? Though it stands as a breakthrough work in the world of comics and cinema, Akira, like anything else, had its inspirations. Original author, director, and screenwriter Katsuhiro Otomo lists Osamu Tezuka, creator of works such as Tetsuwan Atom, and Mitsuteru Yokoyama, creator of Tetsujin 28 Go, as being very influential in his early years. Otomo's character, Kaneda's full name, is actually Shotaro Kaneda, the same name as the young boys in Tetsujin 28 Go. And the titular character of Akira is designated number 28 among the test subjects. Colonel Shikishima shares his name with Professor Shikishima of Tetsujin 28 Go, while Tetsuo is named after Shikishima's son, Tetsuo Shikishima. Fireball, Otomo's prior work, was said to be consecrated to Tezuka's Tetsuwan Atom, in the form of the story's supercomputer called Atom. Otomo claimed to grow wary of Fireball's story after about page 20, and because of this, the manga remained largely unfinished. He also made the claim, when interviewed on the many similarities the two properties shared, that in particular ways, Akira was a retelling of Tetsujin 28. As a result, many of the themes of Fireball were explored later, split between the works Domu, which focused on the theme of psychic superpowers, and Akira, which contained psychic superpowers and freedom fighters. Anime historian Jonathan Clements has also insinuated that Otomo drew heavily from The Demolished Man, a science fiction novel that also deals with telepaths, or espers. Originally, while he was working on Akira, Otomo did not intend to adapt the series outside of the manga. However, when given the idea to do so, he became intrigued with the prospects of an animated adaptation and went to the task of creating the film, which became a masterpiece. This proved doubly challenging, as not only did Otomo have to condense his work to fit within one feature-length film, but had to come up with an appropriate ending because his manga series wasn't even finished. Akira was revolutionary in more ways than one. In addition to reaching new heights in terms of budget and the box office, the film effectively broke the mold of Japanese animation by utilizing the convention of pre-scoring throughout the entire feature. Pre-scoring is where the dialogue is recorded before production, and the movement of the characters' lips are animated in sync with the dialogue. Otomo himself said in an interview, "My thinking was that if we had the dialogue first, the actor's performance will come back out of it." To this end, the animators also made use of a then new device called the Quick Action Recorder, or QAR, which allowed them to check the progress of their work as they progressed. These processes are outlined in the Akira Production Report special feature, which was recently cited by aforementioned author Jonathan Clements as very misleading, referring to a segment in his book, Anime, A History. In said section, Clements states that QAR had been an industry standard for almost a decade, and was hyped as being new because the film demanded objects of innovation to discuss in the wake of its commercial success. Though QAR may have existed several years before Akira's heyday, it is perhaps equally misleading to insist that an entire featurette is invalid for simply reveling in what was without a doubt yet another significant benchmark in Japanese cinema. Also revolutionary was Akira's coincidental foresight into the future of Tokyo. Akira's Neo-Tokyo, circa 2019, features the city making preparations for hosting the 2020 Olympics. In real life, over 20 years after the release of the manga and anime, Tokyo was announced as the host for the 2020 Summer Olympics. Many Western companies have attempted to capitalize on Akira's cult following. However, to date, for one reason or another, they have all remained unrealized. One of the most famous unrealized projects were the games made for the 16-bit era of gaming. Akira was set to feature a number of different stages based on popular parts of the film, as well as the manga. Despite the amount of press in magazines featuring almost every port and version of the game, Akira, the game, slipped into obscurity. The only known footage that exists is from CES Chicago in 1994, featuring an early build of the game. Western filmmakers are also no stranger to adaptations not seeing the light of day. After the success of Streamline Pictures' release, Sony was in talks to create a movie based on the anime adaptation in the early 1990s. The idea was ultimately scrapped when the projected budget for the film went above 300 million American dollars. While a number of live-action projects have been rumored and talked about over the years, the only one to see the light of day comes from the Akira Project, a crowdsourced live-action fan trailer. Directed by Nguyen-Anh and starring actors and a crew from all around the world, the fan film highlights many of the most iconic points of Akira. The trailer demonstrates that even 25 years later, Katsuhiro Otomo's seminal work continues to wow audiences, being good for health, but also good for education. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you also check out didyouknowanime.net for all the latest facts and trivia on anime. If you liked the Akira Project and you want to know what the team has been up to, you can check out their new project, a sci-fi cyberpunk thriller called Temple, at facebook.com/templefilm.